Hello guys, welcome back to Assetto Corsa, and today we are going to be reviewing the Dream Pack 2.
Yep, or at least just part 1 of the Dream Pack 2.
Spread over 4 parts?
Yeah, I think 4 parts would be pretty reasonable. In today's one, we're going to have a look at the track Circuit De Catalunya, and we're going to have a look at the BMW M4. But we're also going to talk about the changelog of 1.3, which has come along with this Dream Pack.
Yeah, we're going to get into that, but first I'm going to say I've been looking forward to this since Dream Pack 1 release. There's been a hell of a lot of changes, guys, and I tell you what, they've made it really good.
The hype was real, the hype was worth it.
Yeah.
It definitely was worth it.
I mean, you said this because you've played it first, and you said it feels more like a simulator. And I said to you, how can it feel more like a simulator when it was a simulator in the first place?
Exactly.
But it's taken it to the next level. And I know we say this all the time, guys, but they've taken it to another step, another level, and you are going to be impressed.
I think when it comes to some of the things, we'll talk about them as we're looking at the track and that, but I think a few things that we probably want to point out before we start reviewing the track or the car as such, is going to be, one, it's now 64-bit. So obviously you can see that being 64-bit is going to bring up a lot more memory. So it's going to have better memory management. You're going to be able to handle more. It's going to be able to do more with the physics and everything, which I think is in turn why we see such an improvement.
In simple terms, it's better than 32-bit.
Yeah, it is. And I think a few other things that you're not going to notice in here, which is why we're going to mention it, is they've added soft lock, which I don't use because we use the Logitech Profiler to lock up our wheel. DRS zones. That should be interesting, which means that we might be getting some sort of Formula 1 thing.
Hopefully.
And I'm hoping that some of the other mods that do Formula 1 that use DRS might be able to implement these DRS zones and things. There are AI improvements which we're not obviously checking at the moment.
Force feedback.
Force feedback, I think,
it's radically improved.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
I would say, well, you tried it out yourself, didn't you? So there's a few changes here and there, small changes. Sound-wise, they've had changes because they're actually with the BMW M4 that we're.
I know we're rushing through this, guys, because there's so much. But
much.
I'm going to go back to the force feedback because I was so impressed with it. Because I drove this car and I thought, wow, it feels real. And I use the term real all the time, but they've taken it to another, and I'm so impressed with it. And you're laughing right now because
no. It's just is that your phrase of the day? Taking it to another level.
Oh yeah, only because I had to go at you last week about what was that word? What was your word? Per se.
Per se.
Yeah. So now, okay.
But no. Well, one of the reasons we picked this BMW is because you're a BMW. Yeah. You've driven BMW rear-wheel drive.
Yeah. I had one for 3 years.
Yeah, so you've obviously, being a BMW driver, you push the car, you see what it's like. Yeah. You did the same to this, and I believe your exact words were, "Feels just like a real BMW."
Does. It feels
it's a BMW.
Yeah. Even with just, obviously compared to our steering wheel, but that steering wheel, it feels like you're actually holding the steering wheel.
Yeah, I know in terms of weight and everything.
Yeah, exactly that. The weight of the it feels amazing.
I think one thing that you were really impressed with was the rolling resistance.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started on that. That is impressive. When you turn in the tire or steering wheel left to right, you can actually feel like you're in the car. No, I'm in my living room, but it felt like I was in the car itself.
I know what you mean, because before, and also in games, what you have is very linear. You turn the wheel, it feels like you're just turning a wheel.
Yeah.
In this, you turn the wheel. If you're stopped, you've got that resistance of the tire against the road.
Yeah.
And you're not moving. The moment you do 1 mile an hour, and I did actually test this. I just took the car up just to 1 mile an hour and started turning the wheel, and it turns so much more easily.
Yeah.
And it just shows just how much work they've done. And they've done, you've got surface temperatures on the tires now, which you noticed as well. Yeah. You push the tire, you burn up the wheels. Next corner you go into, you're not going around.
Yeah, BMW being a rear-wheel drive, it's easy to lose control over it. If you're going around a corner and you haven't got control, it will end up in the you'll end up in the wall or in the pits, and it's exactly that. I'm not saying before it wasn't, but you feel
it's sort of it's really hard to explain, because we kept saying that Assetto Corsa is really realistic.
Yeah.
But then now we're saying it's more realistic, but then does that mean we were lying before?
Yeah.
No. It's the changes are subtle, but not subtle. It's really hard to explain what the changes
guys, try it right now. I mean, how much is it? I mean, let's get. We forgot to see the price.
£5.50.
It's
£5.50.
It's nothing. Honestly, it's
and
nothing.
you get the 7 with the. I mean, the update's already there.
Yeah.
You get the 1.3 regardless.
Don't buy a fish and chips tonight. Just get this instead. Honestly, it's amazing.
And as you can see, I've now switched traction control and ABS off. So this is where things get a lot more fun. You've tried your car with traction control off.
It scared me.
I
remember doing a 180 simply just by losing control.
Yeah. Well, that's my first thing without ABS. I just plowed straight on.
Yeah.
And you will see me at some point end up doing not even I'll do a full 360 just because traction control.
But this was on a public road though.
Yeah, see that's probably where things go a bit from bad to worse. But yeah, the 1.3 update is going to come out. It comes out with everything, obviously. But obviously, if you want to buy, for example, this car that we're looking at in the track, £5.50, like you said, it's a steal because the cars you get the Lamborghini Countach 5000, which I know the moment you saw, you were like, yes.
Yeah.
The Huracan GT3 as well.
Yeah. Let's go back to Countach. Countach is that car when you think of,
posters.
Yeah, poster. I had one. I actually had a bedroom poster with it.
I had a model of it.
Yeah, and I thought one day I'm going to have that car. That one day never came.
Actually, you know what? I might run upstairs right now and just check. I think I do have a Countach bedroom poster.
I had one, and I remember having a calendar. You know when they get those calendars, every kid, and I used to have, and I always used to have that car, and I thought, wow, one day.
But you've got that one. You've got another Lamborghini, the Huracan GT3.
Yeah.
Again, we'll talk about these in their relevant episodes. Yeah. The Ford GT40 Mark 1. That's going to be an important one.
It is.
Scuderia SCG003.
Yeah. The R8 Ultra 2014.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Hey, there you go, full 360. Just watch me go right around. There you go.
The Roof, is it Roof?
Yeah, Roof.
God. Sorry. Yeah, Roof. RT12. I'm going to stop. I'm going to let you carry on.
All-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. So you get two variants of that car, and you get the M4 Coupe, which is a standard edition, and the Akrapovic Edition, which we're looking at the Akrapovic Edition, but we will talk about both.
Yeah, we'll talk. And we found you found a problem.
I found a couple of bugs, as you expect. The Akrapovic Edition, before we talk more about this car, it does have about 5 bhp more, or it's supposed to. Now, I can't, it's hard to tell 5 bhp on a car like this. You're driving 5 bhp, it's not very easy to tell, but it is supposed to have it, and it doesn't say it in the specs. Whether it's got it or not, I don't know. It's definitely got the exhaust because you can hear it.
I was just going to say the Akrapovic is actually the exhaust system, isn't it? So that's what they specialise in. British company?
I have no idea. I have no idea on that. But we'll probably get more onto the car in a bit, but I think we should probably go Catalunya.
Let's go to Catalunya. Why not?
Actually, you know what? I was actually planning to go F1 testing there a couple of years ago. They were dirt cheap tickets. Flight was like 25 quid, and the tickets were like 5 quid.
Well, I'll tell you what, next time there is one, we'll go, because I don't mind going to see Barcelona.
I mean, for me, I'm going to wait until 2018, so at least F1 has a chance to. We're on it about F1 again. Oh god. Okay, let's stop there. Catalunya track comes with the Dream Pack 2.
It's laser scanned
to a precision of
2 centimeters.
2 centimeters.
I believe.
Now,
it's pretty precise. Yeah, it's pretty precise. I mean, it's let's assume that it's exactly bang on, because I don't think.
Well, I think this is the most precise variant of the track ever reproduced.
Wow. Okay.
So that's saying something about a tiny Italian company.
And it's 4.6 Ks, isn't it?
Yeah. Unless you're gonna go on the MotoGP track, which is actually the old F1 track. So it doesn't. So for example, here we're going straight on instead of round to here.
That's good timing.
When you had the chicane, in a few corners time, that really tight chicane, you go straight round and you bypass that chicane as well. So that brings it up to about 4,727. So it adds another about 75 meters, something like that. Yeah. But it's a better track. I think that track is better. Here we go. Instead of turning off here, you go straight on. So that was really good timing, actually. Not planned. I think it felt fantastic, as I actually do lose control of the car.
That wasn't planned either.
That was the plan. But yeah, it does feel fantastic. You drove it, I drove it. It's the track is, I think we'd say, typical Kunos standards, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's
good.
top
It's good. Yeah.
top notch. Yeah, I think that's probably the best word to say on it.
Yeah.
You had a look at it. You know, you immediately recognise the track. It's very easy to recognise. You pointed out the way they've done the scenery around it as well.
It's impressive. I mean, it's vastly improved to what it was. I mean, this wasn't a...
This was a mod before.
This was a mod,
so
that's what I was thinking, the mod.
Comparing it to the mod, I mean, not to say the mod was bad. I think we really liked the mod
that was one of my favourite tracks, and you know what they've done now, it's probably my favourite track now.
Yeah, I would say
I know we always talk about the Nürburgring, and you know, it's the Nürburgring is probably going to be special to everyone, but this is, I think, my favourite track.
Yeah, no, Catalunya is quite special.
It's a beautiful looking track. I mean, just the environment.
And it's great to drive on.
Yeah,
it really is, and I think they've really got that. They've captured that Spanish, that Spanish feel. You know, when you look at the track and everything, you know, if you look around at the hills and the mountains in the distance, it does give you that feel, and I think you can see Barcelona in the distance as well.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, the mountains, and it feels Spanish, Portuguese. If someone just dropped there, you think, I'm probably somewhere in the
somewhere in Europe. Yeah,
Mediterranean.
Exactly. I like the surface. It was really, really good, grippy surface. You know, it's not too slippery. The driving line was really nice on it. I love the texturing, the way they've done. It looks like it's been well used.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you look everywhere, you just see marks all over the place, and those marks are not from either of us driving and spinning off. You know, those marks.
It is what it is. Yeah. It is there. It's there.
They're there because that's just how it looks. The only downside, I will admit, and this is where the mod claws back from this, is that, remember the mod had this really nice echo down the main street?
Yeah.
This doesn't have it.
Do you reckon that's a car though?
No, I checked it in other cars as well.
What car we were racing in?
It was in the GT3.
Yeah, GT3.
The McLaren.
Yeah.
But no, I checked the McLaren on this as well.
Okay.
I took it out for a spin and it doesn't, the echo's not there.
Okay. I'll be honest, I'm not going to mock it.
It's not really, it's nothing to be fussed about.
Yeah,
it's
we're being very petty right now, but yeah.
I would really, I mean, that echo is just like, just as you come into here.
Yeah. As you pass the stands and it just sort of echoes around the stands. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. In fact, it's fantastic. It's a top quality, top track, full marks all around. The only other thing I want to say, do I have to be really, really petty, is I noticed in the stands, I noticed a little bit of texture flicker in two of the stands. Around the entire track, I think a couple of the sprites were just flickering a little bit. Am I gonna knock it down for that? When you're doing 100 miles an hour, you're not gonna see it at all. It was only because I was looking specifically for things wrong.
I'm not. I mean, I'll be honest. I was enjoying the drive and the scenery, so I certainly didn't notice it. And I don't think it's going to bother me either.
Nah, it's not going to bother me. So, track rating. Yeah, it's a Kunos track. Can you really?
The thing is, we say that, but some Kunos tracks we've not been happy with.
That's true. There have been ones that were not. It's not feel as alive. That's true. Like the older ones.
Yeah.
This one.
I'm solid 10. And I'm not even saying I didn't know what it was going to mark it, but I'm going to give it a 10. We did it roughly at the same time anyway.
Yeah.
But
not planned.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10. It's a great track, and I think this track alone is worth paying, the £5 for.
Yeah.
Because it's such an important track to racing, whether it's Formula One or anything else. It's so important. And I think at that point, that allows us to move very nicely into the car.
Yeah.
So the first car that we're going to review, as you can see, it's the BMW M4. We're driving, like we mentioned, it's the Akrapovic Edition.
Yeah.
That is, I am pronouncing that right, isn't it?
Akrapovic. Yeah.
Is it
Akrapovic?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
sounds like Serbia, Yugoslavia, well, former Yugoslavia, that area. But anyway.
Bavaria?
No, it doesn't sound German.
Never know. I mean, it's a German car, German tune, maybe.
Possibly. I mean, anyone knows, put in the comments box.
Yeah, we might actually search that up ourselves.
Yeah.
But there is a standard and this version. Obviously, the only difference being is the exhaust at the back, which it does look visually different.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, I think the reason they've got this version in is because Akrapovic have teamed up with Kunos to help them get more accurate sounds.
Okay.
And
interesting.
That being said, does this sound like a properly brutal, snarly exhaust that you'd expect from a car like this with an exhaust mod like that?
Yep. Yeah, it does. Of course it does. It's an M4. The thing is that M3, M4s, they sound amazing.
They sound good anyway.
They've got that. It's not like a Subaru Impreza raw or anything, you know.
It's a growl, isn't it?
It's a growl. I mean, my brother's got M3, so I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You just know when you.
The M4 in here.
Yeah.
The M4 in here does the same.
Yeah.
It's got the same growl. You know. This is like a brute snarl.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the growl with more oomph.
Yeah.
So specs.
Yeah, I mean, we start with the main one.
The weight.
No. I was going to go BHP, but
yeah, okay.
425.
Yeah.
Now, is it 430?
I think it's 430 for this version. The normal M4, which we'll talk about here as well, is 425.
Okay.
And I think the power, it comes in at the same kind of thing. It's 6.5 or 6,450 RPM is where it comes in.
Yeah.
When on the graph, the torque is 406 Newton meters of torque, which again I think that's the same. That comes in at about 4,000. But I think it's got a little bit more low-end torque than the graph show. Okay. Again, that's just because of the exhaust system. Yeah. Everything else is
this
the
is
same
your.
as the
I'll be honest. This is your area. I mean, you look at all these semantics and stuff, don't you? So
yeah. All this is my kind of stuff.
I think the relevant one is on the screen was the weight and the power, and that's all I look at. I think you tend to go into the more nitty gritty.
Yeah, I think that it's important. I think for what we do, it's nice to do that, but it gives us a good balance as well. Because, like we said, did we mention the weight? We didn't.
1.6.
1.6 tons. So I think again with the look at that drift.
Yeah.
That's what you were trying.
I was trying to do that and ended up in the wall.
Yeah, you hit, like you said, you hit that green surface, which again, with all this force feedback and a new tire model, tire model version 5, it's just so impressive. But back onto the car, what's the acceleration? 0 to 62 miles an hour in 4 seconds, 3.9?
3.9 seconds.
3.9 seconds.
Was it not 200 kilometers an hour?
Yeah, so about 62 miles an hour if I remember. So 3.9 seconds. No slouch. It's cause no slouch.
None of the M3s, M4s are.
No. The even the really old ones, they're all powerful cars. But now that we've got those out the way, driving. We've both driven it. We both drove it literally only hours apart from each other. Yeah. So, what do you think? I'll let you actually do this driving now.
Well,
because you're the BMW man.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I had a BMW for 3 years. It feels like a BMW.
Yeah.
Not just driving it, not the way it feels, and you know what, the way you sort of get reactions from it. The actual steering wheel, and that is what was missing. I mean, it wasn't missing before because we didn't know what we didn't have.
Yeah, you didn't know what was missing. You just felt it wasn't. It was realistic, but there was something missing.
And now that we've got the steering wheel, it feels like you feel like there's a connection between you and the car. Yeah. I know I sound really stupid right now. I'm probably going to listen back. What the hell was I saying? But I can't stress to you how. Come on, help me out here.
No, I know what you mean because I took a few cars out, some of the older cars as well. I took them out for a spin, and I'm like, okay, what's it like? What's changed? And when I was driving them, it was so much. It just felt more natural. First of all, it didn't feel like I was having to force the car around corners. It didn't feel like I was having to force the car to do anything in general. And I think that was just so important. And like you said, with the whole steering wheel, the force feedback is different. It's the same in some ways, but it's vastly different in others. Yeah. The difference is in all the subtleties, the rolling resistance, going over the bumps. You feel that tiny bits here and there. Yeah, so that's where I think it really came into its own. And again, I think that's not just the car, which again is a fantastic car. It was really good to drive. I think, it was just the 1.3 update as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's a given. I think that's the main part of it. And I'm glad. I mean, we did say I did say it was lacking.
Yeah.
So nice cars, but I'm glad they held back the M4 for this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you had it before, they said, "Oh, it's an M4."
You would have said, "Oh yeah, it's a great car," I think. And now we've driven it.
We can appreciate it even more.
Yeah. It's like revisiting. I'll be honest. Going back to all the other cars, it's like revisiting those cars. It's like you've never driven them before. Yeah. It's so good. Yeah. I am going to pop out a couple of bugs with this M4.
Yeah.
And there's one bug and two things I don't like. One thing I don't like is they all have number plates. Everything in this new pack have number plates on the back. Only on the back.
Okay.
Right?
I've not noticed that.
Have a look in the replay box. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. I wish they weren't there. I really wish those number plates weren't there. Either have it on the front and the back, or none. Yeah.
You're being so petty right now.
I am being as petty as possible. Second one, when I was shifting into first gear, for some reason, it hits the downshift trigger instead of the upshift trigger when you're going into first gear.
Okay.
That's the only one. The rest of the time, it hits the upshift. First gear, it seemed to hit the downshift. I think that's a bit less petty.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll give you that.
And the one... So that's the bug. Yeah. And the other thing I don't like is this gearbox protection thing. Catching gears. We didn't mention it, but you're in third gear. It happened to me most of the time coming up to the chicane, right? Coming up to the chicane, I hit the brakes, I want second gear. There, I actually took 2 stabs at it there. Yeah. I press it once, nothing happens, because it's like, no, you're going to end up in the red limit.
So basically, to overcome it, you have to press it twice.
No, it just doesn't let you go into the gear.
Okay.
I think this is a BMW thing, and it must be in paddle shifters. I mean, I understand it's a safety thing, but I would like it so I can get into the red zone. Yeah. You know, I want that power. Yeah. That's the only thing I don't like. Apart from that, what a fantastic car. I'll be honest, I didn't know how good the M4 was going to be. I thought it was going to be a good car, but I thought it'd be a car that I wouldn't like as much.
I thought, I mean, BMWs, I like them anyway, but I mean, I touched on it before. I appreciate them more now with this Dream Pack.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With all the changes that's happened, you will. I mean, you used to just sit it, you know, bang on. You're gonna appreciate the cars more. Yeah. Every single car, you need to drive them again because you will. It will feel different.
Yeah. I mean, ABS feels different on it. The way the car skids, the way it handles, the feedback in the wheel, everything feels different. But at the same time, it all still feels the same. Yeah. And that's confusing. It's confusing because your muscle memory thinks turn the car.
But you know what? It's a journey that we've taken though. Because you know this game's gonna be coming out next year on the PS4 and Xbox. Those users won't appreciate the journey that this game has taken.
Yeah. They'll just see a final product and think, "Whoa, this is great." And we've seen what it's been like over the past year and a half.
Yeah, and it's been a journey. You know, we've had our gripes with it. I mean, but they've got to this stage now where we can feel, okay, look, this is a game, simulator game, whatever you want to call it.
I think now we can say full-on simulator. There's no game about it anymore.
How it's going to be on the PS4 and Xbox One, I don't know, but it's going to be up there.
I think this is going to easily take on Project Cars. Yeah. It's going to blow Forza out of the park. Gran Turismo, they might as well give up. And we're Gran Turismo fans. I
love Gran Turismo. This is. I don't think I'm well.
When this comes out on PS4, if they don't pull their act together, they're going to lose all their fans, both Forza and I think Forza are trying.
Forza, I think
they're trying. There's something there, but between this and Project Cars, they're gonna lose most of it.
Should we say what we're going to do next week?
We haven't really decided. Let us know in the comments box. Which car do you want us to have a look at next week? And we'll do that. So we'll end it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa. Buy this Dream Pack. And let us know what you want us to do next. We hope to see you next week.